Welcome to the Ohlone College Communication Lab's tutor training lesson on giving feedback and listening to student speeches in the lab. I'm Professor Brenda Onholtz. Let's get started. When listening to a speech, you need to organize your thoughts or take notes on content, organization, and delivery. I learned this when I was in graduate school and I was judging forensics tournaments. When we'd hear 8 speeches in a row in a session, that I had to organize my thoughts around some criteria. So the content is the story or the information, the research in an informative speech, or it's the argument in persuasive speech. Organization is being able to follow along with the speech, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Can you listen and follow along and you're not lost in the speech? And then lastly, delivery. Is it extemporaneous, natural and conversational, with natural and conversational verbal and nonverbal communication behaviors, from eye contact to gestures to movement, body movement around the room. So organize your thoughts when listening to a speech. You can either take notes or just keep a mental note of these 3 things, because your feedback needs to be about these 3 things. Okay, when forming feedback for a student in the communication lab, you want to use the sandwich model to give them feedback. So you want to first start off with a positive comment. What was the speaker's greatest strength? It may be the content of the speech was super interesting, and you want to let them know that their research and the information and that you really learned a lot from their speech. And then you want to focus on one area of improvement. And the area of improvement should be in one of the 3 criteria areas, which is content, organization, or delivery. So perhaps you could make a comment on the fact that you got lost in the middle of the speech and you weren't able to differentiate between the second main point and the third main point. And maybe a transition was needed, or maybe even an internal summary to review what is cancer before moving on to what the treatments for cancer are. And then lastly, you want to finish up with an encouraging or positive comment. Again, what's the last thing that you'd like the speaker to know to finish out on a positive note, to give them some confidence to go in and do a great job in their class? Okay, next, the constructive feedback. Here's just a few guidelines for what your feedback should sound like. It should be positive and encouraging. You don't want to say, don't do that, that sounded bad. So you want to be positive and optimistic, encouraging. You can tell them that you don't want to tell them that their speech was illogical and hard to follow. So you want to be encouraging and give them something specific, like, I needed a transition here. Be specific. What part of the speech needs work? Be realistic. Everybody has their own strengths as a speaker, and no 2 speakers are alike. So be realistic about what each speaker can accomplish. And then lastly, you want to make a better speaker, not just edit the speech. So think about the feedback that you can give them about improving their confidence and practicing more, and improving eye contact, perhaps using more natural gestures, things like that. Okay. Lastly, we'd like you to practice formulating a sandwich model of feedback on a student speech. So please view a student speech on the Communication Lab website or YouTube. You can Google student informative speech. We have some new samples on the ComLab website as well. And we want you to create, your critique, again, using the sandwich model. So three things: a positive, an area of improvement, and then follow up with a positive. And again, your comments want to be in the areas of content, organization, and delivery. Okay, thank you.